Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. It's 11 a.m., April 1st of 2023. Let's see, what have I accomplished? Over here and down on the floor, I had this thing here, a UPS supply, power unit. The battery on that thing has been dead for years, and I moved it from, I think, from Belton, Missouri to Florida and to Texas. And did I move it back to Miami? I'm not sure. Anyway, the battery's been dead a long time, but I've been using it because it's got a whole bunch of plug-ins on the thing. So it's been over here. Then there was, I think you could see that maybe on the aluminum thing right here. That's an extension. That was under there. Well, that still is. There's a black extension thing that has, USB plug-ins into it and power. It's there. Now it's still there. Was there something else under there? I think it was a disaster, especially with my arthritis and everything. I had to get down on the floor. And once I go down, I just stay there. And so I drug out the UPS unit. It's over there right now. I don't think there's anything plugged into it. Well, it's plugged in. It is plugged in so that it doesn't also be giving me a beeping sound that, it wasn't plugged in. Back here, the N0UWY is my old Dell computer that I had for a long time. It's not working, hadn't worked for a long time. And what else? Anyway, I cleared out the mess down here. And I've got the things that are plugged in. Before there was some wires down there that had been like for monitors that use, some of my monitors use a typical AC, for the United States 3-prong or whatever. And then some of the LG monitors, they have a big block that's on the floor and a wire running on. There was one of those down there that wasn't used. So now it's very neat because my problem that I was having, maybe if you watched a video the other day, my speaker wasn't working. And it turned out that the unit that was plugged in right then, the electrical unit, wasn't I need to move that, okay, so I can see my blue light on my speakers. So I was having no audio, and I was going through everything, all the settings here. Why am I, and I hooked up different sound blaster, or not, this isn't a sound blaster one, but this is a $24 one. Actually works out really well for, it's simple. A little sound card thing with various connections to it. And I hooked that up, and turned out that I guess when I did something, I'd pressed one of the buttons on one of the power units on the extension things or whatever, and turned off the power, so there was no power to the speakers. And that's why, and of course I wasted a bunch of time trying to figure out why, So that's been corrected. Except now I need to go through and see, should I use one of these, or is this going to work good enough? Anyway. What else is going on? What's the next project for the day? I think my daughter, Hillary, she's planning on, she's so busy that sometimes she says she'll be here, and she isn't, because she's just got so much to do. She's got 2 cats that Yeah. That she's spending major money on for major medical things when, and then she's really busy. So, but she's talking about coming in Monday, and so I think she's going to go to Brahms and pick up for Darlene a couple bags of cheeseburgers. And they've got good pound cakes at Brahms, or they used to. I've been, but I just had breakfast back a while back. But, they have a counter where you can get malts and ice cream and all that kind of stuff. Or you can also go up there and order, hamburgers or whatever if they're doing it then, or breakfast, that type of stuff. Then they have a little corner of the store that's ice cream and dairy products. And then, now a while back, and I think it's several years back, I used to go there and occasionally pick up some stuff. But they downsized that area a little bit, and their prices in that area were expensive. They're a lot more expensive now. And I forget if the ice cream, was priced well. And I don't know if they upped the price on the whatever, but so Monday I may be doing something with Hillary, picking up something. I don't know if we're going to be any place where I can get some shoes or even sandals, flip-flops will work. I've mentioned this before. Or what I'm going to do too, I went to YouTube and did a search for shoe size, and I saw a couple. I forget now what it was. I watched it. I forget how you come, but you put a piece of paper down. I guess you put your foot on it, and then you do something, and then you do something else, and then I think you take I don't know. But I need to find out, because the monstrous clown shoes, the only ones that I have, they're really dangerous actually to walk in, because they're too big, and they had to be big because, like, when I went to back when the mall actually had half of the places there were shoe stores. Back then I had a hell of a time finding anything that would fit my foot because of my legs are swollen, that the feet were really swollen bad. But I've lost 50 or 60 pounds, and actually my legs have gone down. They still look bad, and the feet really look bad, but not the grossly swollen. So I think some shoes will fit me. So I may get some, but I mean, I could get just the cheapest flip-flops, I think, to wear, and I'm guessing a size 9 or 10, but I want to find out because over the years with my feet going on like they were, I bought several pairs of shoes, wrong size. I never returned them to, Amazon. I just tried to give them away. They were brand new. Just wouldn't fit. I couldn't get my feet in them. Nobody wanted them, so I ended up throwing them away. So I've even walked outside a few times on this sidewalk barefoot rather than put on these terrible, I'm not going to show them to you. But what I'm afraid of is I have very poor circulation in the legs and the feet. And I do not need, actually I got a scrape on my leg back a few years ago. You may have seen the video of me, or I'm not sure it was video, in the hospital. I think there were still pictures that I took and posted immediately. And I was there for 6 days, and I left against medical advice to get the hell out of there, and survived. But that was just from a scratch. This bed right back here, did it. Or maybe I had a bed spring before that was underneath it. But I kind of collapsed on me, scratched my leg, and then it got infected. And then finally, when I went to the hospital, I took an Uber, and they said, "Did you come in by ambulance?" And I said, "No." I said, "I came by Uber." "You came by Uber?" And I said, "Yes." So, you know, right away, I mean, I knew that that was just a scrape. So I've walked a few times. Like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here, you can go out and put out trash right by your curb, and you don't have to walk over to the dumpsters, which are not very far away. But difficult for me. But I've gone out because putting those flip-flop or the clown shoes really makes it, you know, makes it difficult to not fall with them. And so I've walked a few times just barefoot, and you know, I'm thinking all the time, if I step on a piece of glass or something, I can barely get to my feet. I really can't get to my feet, and I might not know if I even have, you know. So I don't like doing, afraid of stepping on glass. This apartment complex is really nice. Well, we've had problems with a leak here they can't seem to get fixed. But it's a really nice apartment and everything, and the people are really nice and everything. One thing I wish that they would do, the trash dumpsters are, you know, over there by the exit gate. And there is a ton of glass all around that area with the dumpsters. And the two guys, in fact, I think they're looking for a new employee here, by the way. They seem like they can keep one guy, you know, a long time. And he's been here for a long time, but they hire somebody new, and the guy doesn't last long. But I wish that they would sweep up that glass, but I'm trying not to walk. I'm not going to walk there without shoes. That would be, you know. So, I think I explained that you're not looking at it, are you? Yes, you are. This story here, I should have known. Apparently, I'm guessing what they did was, whoever created the story about the million-mile-per-hour winds that are going to hit Earth, what they were talking about was, now those don't look like sunspots. They're not sunspots. But there are sometimes, you know, the sun has projections of electrons flying out from it for various reasons and that type of stuff. And they can actually disable Earth satellites. They can mess up communications. I think even maybe underwater cables in the ocean and things. Of course they're trying, you know, they build things to try to shield them from that. But I think that's what was. It wasn't, I don't think now, somebody having fun. I think it's somebody that may have been an expert in solar flares and that type of thing. And maybe they wrote this thing and, you know, talked about waves and talked about winds of, you know, not winds, but they're, you know, electrons being shot out from the, you know, and so but the way the headline was for CNN, that it appeared on there, bang, real quick, that there was going to be winds of, like, you know, what is it, millions of miles, 1.8 million mile-per-hour winds to Earth. Now, they were talking about electrons, coming. And so CNN, I think, yanked it right away because of confusion. I think somebody was trying to explain things to simple people like us, And I think that may be what that was all about. So, because I haven't seen any stories saying, wow, CNN and other newspapers and places around the world, somebody created a fake story. And I think it's just somebody, some person who's probably really, really intelligent on the sun and solar flares and all these types of things, trying to simplify it for people. And it went on CNN's front page at the top. And then somebody, because I was thinking, why the hell didn't they fire us? When that made it there and sat there, I was thinking, why didn't somebody fire, come in? And of course there's contracts and all this kind of, all this, you can't do a lot of these things that you probably think you can do. But I think what it was somebody, it got there, and probably whoever the person that, they probably have 10 people some things go through before that, maybe different categories too. And somebody thought, okay, well that, I see what this person is trying to do, trying to simplify it so people will understand it. Because as they say, solar projections of, EMF and all this kind of stuff people want, and so, but then I think somebody right away, maybe one of the people that's reading the news or, reporting on the news, maybe they said, to their floor manager or whoever kind of controls the show and them, might have said, this, and then, oh, okay, yeah, I can see, otherwise there'd have been people. Because I just saw the headline, just the headline that day, which was a day ago, I guess. And I saw, just a headline, and I was like, what in the hell is that? And then my Darlene was on the telephone with our daughter, Hillary, and I was having to do some stuff. And I told Hillary, I said, there's a story on CNN that doesn't make much sense, but it says, million-mile-an-hour wind's going to hit the Earth, on Friday. So this was Thursday or something. And then I came back and read it. And then I posted this, this video. So, what's going on? What's my next project? Well, I've got 3 books to read about my cell phone. It's complicated. Well, okay. I don't think it's complicated. I'm just dumb. But I need to start on those because there's a couple things that would make it so much easier for me. And the one thing, but of course it won't work. And I've tried it. But I guess I need to, I need to read it and go to YouTube and check, how to do it. But because this would be so much better for me if I can use my cell phone to make a video or even a picture, a snapshot, and then send it right to my Windows computer. Bang. What I have to do now is, and sometimes it resists me, What I have to do is save it and then send it to me as and although I have a couple devices that I'm not sure are hooked up yet also. But anyway, I got a little bit to do. Got the printer hooked up finally. I've been without a printer. Well, I've had a printer, a couple printers. But I got by for a long time not even having one hooked up. But I finally got this one hooked up. It's a Canon, inexpensive, and of course the ink's always expensive. What do you call the ones like that businesses use or whatever? Not ink. What is that? Because when I was working at CompUSA, I was using one of their, one of the was assigned to me, but people would come over and be using it occasionally. Because I was the only person they had that was pricing items. If I remember correctly, there wasn't a price on an item where it was on the shelf, and then I put the thing underneath it with the price. That's the way they did it. But it's just on the anyway. It's not ink. And anyway, I bought one of those for here, and it worked. It worked great. It would print forever on this. Damn. No, I'm not going to do a search for types of printers. Now I am too. Let's see. Go to Amazon. Let's see, if I enter printer ink, I wonder if it'll... Okay, printer ink. So I guess I better do types of printers. Let's see, printer ink, let's see. Maybe it's HP. Nope. Oh man, terrible to get old. Well, that wasn't what I used wasn't a laser printer, but it was thermal printer. Come on. Oh. If I could remember the name of it. Inkjet printer, but that's, what did you call the I give up. I wonder how many of you out there, probably a whole bunch of you, I hope probably just about everybody are saying what it is. I guess I should have done a live stream. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for watching.